So, Ginger,
Yeah?
you know how we wanted to start a podcast, but we were having trouble coming up with a topic?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my pitch. The topic of the podcast is us trying to come up with the topic for the podcast.
What? Like we pitch each other podcast ideas and that's the podcast?
Yeah, exactly. We could call it, What Should Our Podcast Be About?
Miles, that's really stupid. Let's do it.
What should this song be about? I'm trying to figure it out. What should this song be about? Could you perhaps help me out? I've had a moment of doubt. What should this song be about? Welcome to What Should Our Podcast Be About? The podcast where we try to figure out what this podcast that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm Miles Grover.
And I'm Ginger Barb.
And we have a special guest. What's your name, special guest?
Svetlana.
Svetlana's here. Yay!
Everybody cheer for Svetlana.
3 cheers for Svetlana, the famous podcaster.
Yay!
We talked last week about our As the Kids Say idea, and we thought it'd be fun this week to have a kid on who is flipping her hair that you can't see, but she's doing it, and hopefully it's not making noise over there. So that's what we're doing. We're going to talk to a kid as a couple of parents who are lame and find out what the cool things that people are saying are, I guess. Do you have any comments on that before we start?
Bussin'.
Okay, cool.
Bussin', as the kids say.
Do the
kids say bussin'?
Do the kids still say that a lot?
Yes.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Today's lunch was not bussin'.
No cap.
Please don't.
Okay, so bussin' means good, basically, right?
Yes.
Is there any nuance to that, or like, is there any time you would not use it?
When talking about my principal.
No, I mean when something's good, but you like a different kind of good or something.
Yeah, is there a way to use it that would be the incorrect way to use it?
It's not like chill good. Like, it's like ba-bam good.
Okay, but bam good. Do people say, I feel like people say like bussin' or something. Like, do people say it like multiple times? Or are there any nuances to how people use it?
Well, it used to be bussin', but now people just say bussin', but when they want to say extremely bussin', they're like bussin'. But now it's just bussin' most of the time.
I see. Okay.
The double bussin' has fallen out of favor.
Yes, unless it's like extremely bussin'.
Okay.
But you wouldn't say extremely bussin', you would say bussin'.
You wouldn't say
bussin'.
Pardon me, sir, that is extremely bussin'.
No, it would be like, pardon me, sir, that it's bussin', my dude.
I see. Okay.
Do the kids today still say, pardon me, sir?
No.
Is there a kid equivalent of pardon me, sir?
Yo, my broskies?
Okay. Do kids actually say that?
Yes.
Or do you say that?
Mainly me, but it used to be. Kids used to say it.
She's trying to make fetch happen.
Right.
A reference that kids today will
Probably
not get.
Have you ever seen Mean Girls?
No.
It's a movie.
How about the remake?
Okay.
Isn't there a Mean Girls 2?
Yeah.
I just saw that there's
It's
a Mean Girls 2, but I don't know anything about it.
Does it have any sort of curse words in it?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Then I'm not allowed to watch it.
Right. Svetlana is 12, by the way. We should mention. What grade are you in?
7th.
7th grade.
7th graders famously do not curse.
Never say swear words.
Sure. You can think that.
Bussin', by the way, I should point out, comes from bustin', like bustin' a nut is where that comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Svetlana's looking at me weird because I don't think she knows what bustin' a nut means. And I don't think we should tell her what it means.
This is not the point of this podcast.
Is that when you like open like a walnut or whatever?
Exactly. Yes, that is definitely what it is.
Well, no, I think it's not.
It's not, but it's not. I promise you, it's not something you want to know about.
Okay.
You know how
It's a sex thing.
You know how you hate it when boys and girls kiss? It's worse
Yes.
than that.
It's much worse. That does bring me to a different sort of slang that I've heard, which I don't know if Svetlana, if you would have encountered this, but it's in like, sometimes I don't really watch Twitch, but sometimes I watch Twitch streamers like highlights on YouTube. And I watch a game called Hearthstone, and in that, when you get, it's a card game, and so you can get a good card draw from your deck or a bad draw from your deck, right? Because it's somewhat randomized. And sometimes when people get all the cards they want, they say they got the nuts, or they got the nut draw.
Yeah, I have heard that, and
The nut draw, which I'm pretty sure comes from a similar.
and I hate that too.
It's sort of weird, yeah.
It's just
Have you ever heard anything like that?
No.
Getting like the nut or the nuts?
Kids don't really play card games at my school.
It's a video game.
It's a video game. It's an electronic card game.
Well, they also don't play video games at school because they get yelled at.
Right, and I guess you're mostly interacting with kids at school, so you wouldn't necessarily hear video game stuff.
Correct.
So that kids don't have any video game link? Oh well, but you said you hear people say chat, right? So
All the time. It was banned in my LA class.
your language arts class. Tell us how that's used.
For example, one of the annoying popular boys being like for example, doing a bottle flip and it lands up and then they're like chat. Like I don't know. It's like that.
So the idea is they're talking to Twitch chat, but in real life, but addressing people around them like chat
Okay.
almost or something. Do they say stuff like,
That's interesting.
chat, what do we think about this, or stuff like that, or anything like? Do they say things beside? Do they like start a sentence with chat, or do they just say chat, or what?
It's not really talking to people around them. It's not like hey Jacob and Brian. I don't know. I'm trying to think of names. Hey Jacob and Brian, and instead saying chat. It's just like saying chat and to get the attention of people around them. I don't know. It's not really addressing the people. I don't know. It's weird.
Right, like not specifically them, but they're sort of like the Twitch audience at that moment, I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not in school anymore.
I think that one's pretty interesting. It's weird because like even just trying to describe it is difficult, right?
Yes.
Like because they're sort of addressing people. It's kind of more than addressing people. Maybe it's more like, hey, check this out, or look at this.
Yeah.
It's just interesting, like the internet has
The ways it's
the way it's like manifests in like other parts of life.
right.
Like it's not really a separate thing anymore, right? It's just a part,
Yeah,
an accepted part of life.
yeah, and
Like
and kids are
whereas we
growing
were
up with it
around
more.
in the days where like you had to specifically go to use the internet.
Right, and you didn't have a phone in your pocket all the time
Yeah.
where you could be connected to everything.
Correct.
You looked like you had something to say.
No.
By the way, we're sharing our two mics between the three of us, so we're trying to make sure everybody's mic'd when we're talking.
And if you hear a creaky chair, it's because 12-year-olds are wiggly.
12-year-olds will not sit still no matter how many times we tell them,
Especially if they have ADHD.
and their parents do as well. Okay, so tell us about your yacht and the Rizzlers in your life.
No
Do you want him to
comment.
say that again? I want him to say it again.
Tell us about your yacht and the Rizzlers in your life. And I feel like if you could see that I've got my microphone like pointed at myself like a news reporter, and I say that and then pointed at Svetlana, I feel like if you could see that, it would be even funnier for you at the audience. But this is not a video podcast, so oh well. So one more time, tell us about your yacht and the Rizzlers in your life.
Skull emoji.
Skull emoji. Fair.
So do kids talk in emojis a lot?
They don't say them, but in texting, like,
Well,
skull
yeah.
emoji. Yeah.
Adults do that too. I just was wondering if saying such and
No,
such emoji
it
was a
would
common
be-
thing.
No, it would be like, I'm dead instead of skull emoji.
Do they say like hashtag and stuff like that at all?
No.
Do kids use Twitter in your school
What is Twitter?
or X?
What is X?
Okay, so hopefully that means they're not using it. Twitter is a social media network that is now called X, I guess.
Who names Twitter X? That's a terrible name. That's a letter. You can't.
Don't get me
Thank
started.
you.
Don't even get me started.
See,
Elon
the
Musk.
12-year-old knows.
Elon Musk is who did that, and he's a terrible piece of crap. But let's not talk about him too much right
Yeah,
now.
we don't want to give him airtime.
Okay, so, but for real though, do people talk about their yachts at all? Is that how you say it? Yacht?
Yes, that's how you say it. And people, it's more like when they're reciting memes or singing like the cringe edit of songs and stuff that they say "got." They don't really say "got" a whole lot.
Like, that's not a real part. My take on the whole sticking out your yacht for the Rizzler, you're so Phantom Tax, whatever you're so skibidi, you're so phantom tax, I just want to be your sigma thing, is that it's like intentionally supposed to be like
Nonsensical.
goofy like slang terms that kids understand and parents don't understand, and they're intentionally saying stuff that doesn't really make sense. Is that about right?
That is, yes.
So but literally it means sticking out your butt for a attractive person or somebody with riz.
Well, it was originally sticking out your tongue for the picture, so it started out being like Rizzler is replacement for picture.
Right, but the Rizzler is like, because I've heard that separate from this whole thing, when it's like, I guess like the Riddler, right, from Batman.
Yeah, but that's how it's used in that context.
In that context, right? Do people talk about Riz? Do people say Riz very much?
They say W Riz more, but yeah,
What's W Riz?
the same thing.
Why is it W Riz?
I don't think anybody knows.
Is it like W like wins, W's and L's? Do people talk about that?
It's like slightly more extreme Riz.
Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say W's and dubs and L's or W's and L's?
A dub is a win in a game, right?
Or just a win in general? Like people on the internet I see saying something like, common W from somebody, like meaning that they often say smart things. Does that make any sense?
No.
Or common L from someone, or
Maybe that's more of a millennial thing.
maybe it's a more of an internet thing that's a little above,
Yeah.
like more Gen Z than Gen Alpha or whatever.
Yes.
So, but they say W Riz.
Yes.
Who is described as having Riz or W Riz?
The times I hear it the most are basically when kids are like just reciting pickup lines for no reason, and people are like W Riz like that.
Do you have
Okay,
any?
interesting.
Do you have any sayings that we might not have heard that you could share with us? Actually, share. You know what would be fun is if you share one with us, and we'll try and guess what it means.
What are the kind of kids that are saying these kind of like pickup lines and then saying W Riz?
Popular boys and summer camp kids.
What are summer camp kids?
Kids who go to summer camp and kind of make it their whole personality, kind of.
Okay, so along with what Ginger was saying, can you think of any other kind of weird stuff they might say that we might not have heard about before?
Sometimes they call counselors filet mignons.
Okay, let's try and guess what that could mean.
Is that means something particular?
Yes, although I don't agree with it.
Filet mignons. Well, filet mignon
Is it like they're tasty, like their dish, like I think they're hot? Oh, the look she's giving me right now.
Yes, it means they think they're attractive.
interesting? Okay. Because filet mignon is like a fancy kind of meat, I guess, right? That people really want to eat.
I think they just do that because because they associate it with fire, and fire is like good. Yeah.
Like it's like a flamin'.
But filet mignon is. Do you know what a filet mignon is?
No.
Okay, so a filet mignon is a very expensive meat dish.
I'm actually, I believe it's a cut. Is that right? It's a particular cut of meat.
So okay, I don't eat meat, so maybe I'm wrong.
I don't eat fancy stuff, so I don't know. So none of us are the right person.
But
I don't eat
but that's
fancy
why
stuff or meat.
That's why I said tasty, because she gave me this look like, what is wrong with you when I said tasty? And I was like, does she not know it's a food? It's a food.
You know,
Oh, now
filet
she's
mignon is a
glaring
food.
at me.
Yes.
Okay, so we are learning that not only do we not know slang, we don't know regular words either very much. But
I just have another one. You probably heard of this, but I was about to say it when I was looking at Ginger. Bombastic side eye.
bombastic side eye. So kids say that, not just you. I've heard you say that.
Yes, kids say that.
So that's like intense side eye, just really intense side eye, right?
It's basically like being like, "What did you just say?"
Yeah, we know
Say
side eye,
what?
but so the bombastic is like intense side eye, yeah.
Yes, and the extended version is bombastic side eye, criminal offensive side eye, bombastic.
Is that from a song?
Yes.
Do you know what song it's from?
No.
Okay. Do kids call other things bombastic?
No.
Just side eye because of the song.
Yes.
What about
Could we talk about other things that the kids are into besides just slang? What type of music are the kids listening to these days?
Depends on the kids, but it's usually between Drake and like every other rapper.
What about Swifties?
Oh yeah, that's like half of the school's population.
They're big into Taylor Swift.
Yes, I have a friend that hates Swifties, and she would carry around anti-Swiftie spray.
What's anti-Swiftie spray?
Water.
Did
It's
she
just
would
like
spray it on
it's
them?
like pepper spray, but anti-Swifty spray.
I
right?
mean, if you spray water on someone, they're likely to go away.
that's
so.
true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So things in school have gotten less divisive. That's good.
What does divisive mean?
It means
Do you know what divide means?
You mean in math?
No.
no. Well,
Like dividing two groups of people.
You mean like
Like splitting people apart.
yeah.
yeah,
So divisive just means dividing people.
it means
So my school is divisive.
Right. Ginger was being facetious.
What is whatever?
She was making a humorous remark.
Why you
it's
use
kind
that
of like
word?
sarcasm's cousin.
Facetious is like a specific kind of making a joke.
I didn't know sarcasm had a family. I thought it was just like alone forever.
Oh, burn! Do people still say burn?
It's roast.
Okay. Do they say boom roasted?
Yes. But they say it like boom roasted like that.
Okay. I'm getting the impression of kids in your school as being a lot like kids in movies in the 90s.
Do kids in school touch their like inside of their elbow with two fingers and go sheesh?
No, what is that?
It means sheesh.
But what's the fingers part?
I don't know. It's like nobody really knows. They just do it because it's like a meme thing.
All right. Cool. I guess.
I've not heard of this meme.
Sheesh.
So you put your two fingers on are you playing charades? Put two fingers on your inner elbow and yell sheesh.
Yes.
And that's all you know about it.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Is this how the kids say yes, or just you?
No.
Just you?
Yes.
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 And also hello is halar.
Hello. That's how Australian people say it.
Well, that's how I say it, but not anyone else
Except people in Australia.
except people in Australia.
Maybe it's because you watch Bluey a lot.
Bluey is in Australia?
Yes, you know that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Kids at school do often go Arnar, Clear, the condensation.
Condensation. Arnar is definitely like making fun of Australians. But what's the condensation?
It's from H2O, just add water.
What is H2O? Just add water.
It's a cringy mermaid show.
A cringy mermaid show?
Yes.
Wait, she said cringy, not cringe.
She has been saying cringe up till now, I noticed, but
Yes, kids say cringe, but I'm still stuck at cringy.
okay. We talked about that a little bit in the last episode about saying cringe versus cringy.
It's supposed to be cringe, but a lot of kids, it's still in their minds as cringy.
Supposed
So
to be.
it's like okay. So like imagine your native language is English, but now you're speaking Spanish, so you have to translate English to Spanish. But sometimes you accidentally say English quickly without translating to Spanish. Spanish is cringe and English is cringy.
Okay, so you're saying you have to translate between your own mind and the cool kid speak?
Everyone does,
Everyone does. Oh, how do you know?
because I've talked about it.
Okay. All right. So do you have is there other slang terms you know of as well?
There's sus.
Tell us about sus.
Okay, it's sus or mad sus. Mad sus is extra sus, and it just means suspicious, but it's used specifically if something's like sus, like kind of sexual. Like if someone said like imitating the popular boys. I don't personally use this, but if someone was like trying to get a like dowel in tech class to fit into a hole, but the hole is too small, someone would be like, mad sus.
I see. So they're saying they're making an innuendo about the thing by calling it sus.
Yes.
Interesting.
Okay, because we definitely know and use sus.
I don't really use sus, but I'm aware of it.
I mean, I feel like I've used it once or twice, but not that way.
It started out in Among Us, but then Among Us was all like, no, kids can't talk for themselves. So they put like preset speech options, and they were like, that's suspicious instead of sus, even though sus is literally the backbone of Among Us, and you can't have Among Us without sus. So that is my opinion.
You're talking about when you're playing Among Us as a kid and you're only allowed to say certain stuff rather than like real full chat or whatever.
Sussy baka.
What?
She said sussy baka. Do you know what that means?
Kind of.
What is sussy baka?
So baka is from Japanese.
Okay.
Baka is like idiot or something similar in Japanese. And sussy baka is, I feel like, another one of those things where people are saying it in order to say stupid slang in
Right.
an obscure way.
Kind of, but it also means like sussy baka is like someone who's sus or just like an endearing way of talking to someone.
Right. Okay.
Wait, so it's endearing? I'm confused.
Kind of.
Well, it's like saying something insulting in an endearing way, I think, kind of thing.
But no one actually uses it as an insult.
Right, because like it's like
Could you use it in a sentence? Could you give me an example of when you would say this?
Oh, you're such a sussy baka.
So think about sussy is a like cringe way of saying sus, right? Nobody really says sussy.
Yes, but like also sussy baka is the kind of like slang word that kids would like write in the middle of the whiteboard.
So it's like saying something that's kind of an insult, but saying it in a silly way, so to make it clear it's not really a real insult, I guess.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, so sussy baka, that's good.
Like if you're lovingly calling someone an idiot.
Yeah, so it's
Kinda
something like
thing.
that. I think it's interesting that mad is still the intensifier you would use there, because that's been, since I was a kid, people have been saying, that's mad dope or whatever.
Sometimes you just
Mad-
can't improve on a classic.
Yeah, I guess so.
But mad is only used for certain things like mad sus.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the way it's been used since
Yeah.
we were younger.
Yeah,
right?
but she's saying like they don't use it as a general intensifier, just for calcified in certain phrases, I guess.
Yes, it's like only that phrase.
So mad sus is the only one? Are there any others?
There might be a few others, but that's the only one I can think of.
What about fire? You were saying that fire, people say that for like cool, kind of.
Yeah, like
mean, that
fire,
I've heard.
fire is good.
People say mad fire.
No.
I've heard fire.
Yeah, that's fire. I've definitely heard that too, but it's interesting that people are still saying that. Like, can you give an example of when people would say something is fire?
If someone's like, yo, dude, those shoes are mad fire. Although it'd probably be more like 1, 2, buck my shoes.
But you just
3,
said
4.
that they don't say mad fire.
Did I say mad fire?
Yes, you said, dude, those shoes are mad fire.
Well, I didn't mean to.
Okay, so people don't say those shoes are mad fire.
I don't know, Svetlana. This is kind of sus.
I think you did mean to say that, but go off.
That's not how go off is used.
So tell us about go off. That's another one you were mentioning.
It's kind of like me just now ranting about the Among Us thing. Someone would be like, "Okay, go off, girl."
Yeah, I've heard go off.
Yeah, for sure. I hear people say like, people responding to someone saying a dumb rant or something, being like, okay, well, none of the things you just said are true, but go off,
go
I guess.
off, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how Gen Z uses it, but that's not how Gen Alpha uses it.
I've heard
Okay.
millennials use it that way too.
Yeah, for sure. How does Gen Alpha specifically use it?
It's like if someone rants, they don't say like their opinion, they just say go off if they don't want to like get into an argument, kind of.
Okay. Do people say like "Yas, Queen" or any of that kind of thing?
Yes, Queen Slay.
So people do still say that.
Yes.
Do you mean "Yas"?
No.
What about like spilling the tea?
So you
Do
can
people
only say
that?
Yaz Queen. You can't say just Yaz.
It's either Yas, which is just Yas Queen, or it's Yus, or it's Ya.
Wait,
Which
but
is
you
Ariana
said
Grande.
Yus was just you.
I did?
I think she's saying maybe that's different than the way that she says
Sus.
yes.
Sus.
You sussy baka.
I forgot what I was going to say.
All right. So besides being a sussy baka,
That sounds like, it makes me think of like succubus or something.
I mean, yeah. 'cause
I mean, I
the
know that's
sounds are
not what it
similar,
means,
but yeah,
but like,
Bombastic side eye. I don't know what succulus or whatever means, but it's bombastic side eye.
succulus. That's pretty good.
you
A
just,
succubus is a demon that
Is
has
it-
sex with you, basically.
it's a misogynistic demon, really.
Well, there's also incubi, incubuses, or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not talking about succubi at this point. You also mentioned dap me up.
Oh yeah, that's like a handshake, but it's like supposed to be cool. Among the popular boys, it's like dap me up, and they like handshake and they try to make a sound, and it's like cool.
But it's not a dap in the sense of a fist bump.
No.
It's a different. The sound is part of it.
Yes.
What about?
the best apps have sound.
Okay. You mentioned for me. How's that a slang term?
It's like instead of saying in my opinion, it would be like for me, like pizza is awesome for me instead of pizza is awesome in my opinion.
So people would. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Is it like I love that for me kind of thing?
No,
No. Do people still say I love that for me?
Or I love that for you.
Or I love that for you?
no.
How about finna?
That's like you're gonna go do something.
Right. It's short. It's fixing to do something. People say finna.
Yes.
So a lot of this slang definitely comes from like African American vernacular
Yeah.
English,
Yeah.
AAVE as it's called. What about like yeet? Do people say that still?
Sometimes people like if someone like throws something really aggressively, someone's like, "Bro, yeeted that."
Right. Okay. That yes. I mean, so far most of these have been things I'm aware of. It was really the sticking out your gut for the Rizzler, you're so Skibidi, you're so Phantom Tax stuff that was, has been the most shocking, I guess, as far as stuff I've heard before. Do people talk about Phantom Tax just in general,
No,
or Skibidi? Do people say Skibidi in general?
they would say like, "Bro, Skibidi."
What does bro Skibidi mean?
No one knows.
Is it
When-
good or bad?
When would people say that?
Literally all the time.
Is it good or bad?
Nobody knows. They just say it to confuse people and just because they think it's funny to like say nonsense.
I see.
So you just would like walk up to somebody in the hall and be like, bro Skibidi.
No, bro.
No, she
no.
said you're talking about the bro,
Bro-
right? Like you're
bro-
pointing to the bro saying they're Skibidi.
Yeah, it's like bros is like just to say that this person is.
Is Skibidi,
Yes.
which is not good or bad, but an indeterminate, a different third thing.
Yes, but also bros could be used for any slang term.
I get it because I mean I do feel that way about Skibidi Toilet. I'm like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it
Is it some other third thing?
is it some other third thing?
It cannot be related to anything in the mortal universe and has descended among childish labels.
A transcended childish label.
As the kids say.
As the kids say.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite Skibidi, what you just said. Like the way you work it, bro Skibidi.
So dumb.
Bombastic side eye.
Okay.
So people don't give side eye, they just say bombastic side eye.
Yes.
Do people say, you salty, bro?
Not anymore, but they should. But also, they either say bombastic side eye or they go side eye, side eye, side eye, and like really like getting louder.
Interesting. Okay.
Huh.
And is that kind of equivalent to sus?
It would be suspicious sus, but since sus is more like differently used now, no. But if it was just for suspicious, then yes.
I see.
I feel like that's interesting because like giving side eye is inherently kind of a subtle gesture, right?
Right.
Like, but like,
But then someone might not notice it, so you have to say
so
it.
you've got to say it in increasing volume.
That's true.
Because I feel like that's a way of expressing something quietly.
Also, there's also equivalent is what did she say? No matter the person's pronouns, just boy, girl, non-binary person. What did she say? Like that.
Interesting. And you say "ee" is like drawn out like that.
Is that from something?
Probably.
But it doesn't really matter. People just copy what other people say.
Yes.
Interesting.
Like the way that I reference that bad lip reading football video sometimes. It's like that, where it's like, doesn't matter where the reference is from.
Right.
Sometimes I just go, what's wrong with you?
Or like, what does he say? Like, anybody got a peanut or something?
No, it's an orange peanut.
For
For
me?
me?
Yeah.
Well, I accept you.
It's the orange peanut for me,
Right. Right.
Okay.
but
I-
people don't say that.
Okay, I think I've heard for me.
In that sense.
Yeah, it's like
Used that
it's
way,
the
like-
blank for me. Oh,
Like I've seen that commented online. Like I posted a video and one of my friends commented on what Rory was wearing. It was the Baphomet onesie for me.
Interesting. What did that mean? What did you interpret that to mean?
Like this is the part that I really like.
Okay. I wanted to mention that I brought up you salty bro a minute ago because one time before we had moved closer to Svetlana when we were still picking her up every few months to come visit for a while, One time we picked her up and I was talking to somebody and I was saying that somebody was salty about something. And she like gave me a bombastic side eye and was like, "You salty, bro?" And she was like 6 years old or something at this
She
point.
was like 8, I feel like, but still.
A few notes. Number 1, this happened in the middle of a Panera. And number 2, I knew that because I was watching a YouTuber build a giant picture in Minecraft of a salt shaker with a face, and he went, "You salty, bro." So I just made that part of my vocabulary.
Right. I figured you got it from YouTube or something, but it was very funny at the time. You just like were this little kid and you just like looked over and were like, "You salty, bro?" And is that still part of your vocabulary?
Yes.
Do you say that to kids at school or whatever?
Yes. They hate me for it.
They don't say stuff like that.
No.
She's ahead of her time.
Or behind it.
I'm very behind of my time.
I was also behind my time as a child, so
You're welcome.
So you're welcome. You've got wonderful things to look forward to in life, I'm sure. Because I'm really cool now.
Bombastic side eye.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sussy baka.
What did you say?
I was again being facetious. I don't think I'm cool. I don't think I've ever been cool.
You got a cool podcast website.
It's very freeing to not be cool though.
Bro ain't lit.
Do people say any of that stuff?
They say lit.
So people still say lit.
Yes.
It's being uncool for me.
Side eye, side eye, side eye.
But isn't the coolest thing when you don't care about being cool?
Does that mean I'm cool?
That's what people who aren't cool say too,
Oh,
to comfort ourselves.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, when I say I wasn't cool, I mean it.
If peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio.
Okay, explain Ohio to me.
Ohio is Ohio.
I mean, not the state. I'm aware of the state of Ohio, but why do people talk about Ohio as a thing?
Only in Ohio.
No, really. This is what this podcast is about.
Yeah, what does it mean to say only in Ohio, or why do people reference Ohio?
Because it's Ohio and things happen in Ohio that are not supposed to happen.
So it's kind of like Florida Man.
Is it because
Yes.
Ohio's a swing state?
What is a swing state?
Is
Nope,
it because of
that's
the
not it.
train derailing in Ohio?
What?
Like last year, like a train derailed in Ohio that was like full of toxic chemicals, and everybody was like, we knew these trains were going to derail at some point because we don't pay enough money to make them go right. And then it happened, and everybody was like, well, our town is boned now.
Do people still say boned?
No, and also it's because Ohio is cray-cray.
Okay, so Ohio is just the place where crazy things happen now.
So it's like
Yes.
it's the new Florida.
I guess so. But Florida's still pretty much the Florida, I feel like.
Yes.
Maybe it's like the kids' version of Florida.
Yes.
Interesting.
My math teacher, who's like 20, she just finished school this August. She like says things to get us to be quiet, and it's like down in Ohio, and we're all like swag like Ohio, and also look around, everybody on mute, and then we all gotta be quiet.
And is this from songs or something?
That's from Ariana Grande, you uncultured swine.
I am
You Philistine.
perfectly content with my life not knowing any Ariana Grande references.
I know.
Or Beyonce, I'm not sure.
I don't know Beyonce that well either, but I probably
I know
her
more
a little
Beyonce
bit
than
better than
Ariana Grande. I think I know one Ariana Grande song.
Yeah, is also Ariana Grande.
She says that.
Kind of?
Okay.
So the Down in Ohio thing is from an Ariana Grande song,
No.
but isn't that what you were just saying?
No, look around, everybody on mute is from Ariana Grande or Beyonce.
Oh,
or something.
okay. Down in Ohio, Swag Like Ohio is a song.
What?
Swag Like Ohio is a song by Lil B.
What did she say?
Lil B? Is that? Okay, so Lil B is a rapper or a singer or something.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows that.
Somebody must know that. The internet apparently does.
Yeah, I mean, I just Googled Down in Ohio lyrics. Down in Ohio meme. There is a Down in Ohio meme. What caused Ohio to be a meme? Ohio became a meme because of a post on Tumblr in 2016 that showed a screen at a bus stop saying Ohio will be eliminated.
Bombastic side eye.
Okay. What about Sigma? There's that Rizzler song. They say, I would just want to be your Sigma at the end, right? What does that mean?
As I'm not totally sure, but from context I've gathered, it's kind of along with like beta and like alpha. I think it's like in between beta and alpha, but it's more of an insult than beta. I don't know why.
Interesting. I've heard that too, but I feel like people like want to be sigma males or whatever, and not instead of beta males or whatever.
The way I've heard it is mostly popular boys being like, "You're sigma, I'm alpha."
Okay,
Ugh.
but not your beta. I'm alpha.
No.
What would the kids say if something just like makes you go, ugh? How do you express that? If you're really disgusted by something.
It'd be like go off, but like go off, like kind of like making a weird expression like go off, like that.
That's how you would say ugh?
You don't have, there's not like a different word for something being gross or nasty or
Chuggy.
chuggy. Okay.
High key chuggy or low key chuggy.
I thought chuggy was like basic or something though.
It kind of is, but it also kind of means gross.
Interesting. Do people say basic and stuff like that still?
Yes.
When would people say lit versus fire or whatever?
They're the same thing. It just depends on the person.
Okay. Do they still say like fam? Like that's lit fam?
Yes. Although they usually say more like for real, fam.
Okay.
Fax no printer, fam.
What does that mean?
It's FAX no printer. Fax no printer, 'cause fax.
So it's like saying something is true.
That along with no cap. They both mean true.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like saying facts.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
just the facts, ma'am, but a pun
Fax no
with
printer.
facsimile.
Fax no printer's pretty fun. That's a pretty fun one.
Okay. And so they say that. How about bet? Do people say bet?
Oh yeah, all the time. It's like if someone's like, "Hey, okay, I'll get you apple juice." Okay, bet.
So in that instance, do they think that they are actually going to do it, or is it like sarcastic?
No, it's
No, it's
like,
like, great.
yes, great, yeah, go.
Okay. Do people? I feel like people say it kind of like people used to say word, like meaning I got you, I understand, or okay, or
I know I got you, fam, but I don't know word. Also, are we ever gonna do the Romulus and Remus thing?
The what? The what? The what? What are these words?
Romulus and Remus are the founders of Rome in the story about the founding of Rome.
Right.
Well, Romulus is.
Right. Okay.
I turned it. We for an assignment last year, we had to like put our own spin on myths, so I turned it into Gen Z slang. But
I remember this. I read this.
keep in mind this is from like last year, so this isn't fully updated slang.
I read this. I remember it because you asked me what I thought of it, and I said, "Well, I didn't really know the story before, and I still don't."
So she had to write a thing for school where she Gen Z-ified a myth or whatever, and she took the myth of Romulus and Remus founding Rome and put a bunch of dumb
Made it
slang in
Gen
it,
Z.
basically.
Are you gonna read it to us?
Okay, we've got Romulus and Remus, but make it sparkly emoji, Gen Z sparkly emoji. All right, you're gonna read this?
All right, go off.
That's not how it's used. And also, again, disclaimer: this is old slang. Okay, so
Wait, is it not funny to use things the wrong way? Is that not funny anymore?
it is, but it's also not. I will not. Be
Not when I do
elaborating.
it.
Correct. Romulus and Remus, but make it Gen Z. King Amulus. Hey, yo! My niece gave birth. They're just two boys, #twinning. One is named Remus, one is named Romulus. But if they grow up, I won't be a #short king anymore, and that's high-key chuggy. Hey, yo, servant, go unalive my new nephews. Servant, yas, king, slay. LOL, I got you. The servant, #went on a trip in my favorite rocket ship to find the boys sleep. That's a kid's show reference. To find the boys sleeping, and she #kidnapped the boys and took them to the Tiber River. Servant, I'm just not girl bust enough to make these babies sleep, little sparklies, but make it permanent, little sparklies. So I'll just send them down the river on the #trip of their lives. So the servant sent them down the river. Servant, hey yo, #short kings, the boys croaked. King Amulus, slay, yes king, yes girl, that's bussin'. Down the river, a #slay queen wolf was with her #Gen Alpha, like me, pups. The wolf took care of them until they were getting #new Pinocchio vibes, don't ask, and were ready to leave home. A #Karen with a C, that's like a caring Karen, named Fastulus was walking in the woods. Fastulus, what are you two humans doing here? The boys, too cool to respond. Fascist. The boys look #dead inside. Just come with me. Fascist was mad sus and lured the boys into his house by giving them #sustenance. Then the then the boys got #deja vu and were raised by fascists. One day they went hunting. Romulus, let's go unalive more than just animals. Remus, that's a bit sus, but you're spitting facts, no cap. Let's do it. Some robbers were in the forest and they started gravitating to the boys' vibe. Romulus, let's unalive them. Remus, no cap. Romulus and Remus made many people croak. When they got home, their not my dad talked to them. Fascists, you guys are adopted, but make it sparkly. Royalty, sparkly. Romulus, okay, bet. Let's go tell the short king. Remus, let's go tonight. Fascist, bye. Romulus, I'll go. Oh wait, Fascist said that. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'll go ambush the king with my boys. Remus, go unalive his brother. Romulus killed the king, but Remus became a Karen with a C and made friends with the king's brother. The king's brother exposed the king and let the two boys be the new kings. Romulus, let's make a city. Remus, no cap. How about near the Tiber River? Romulus, bet. I'll go get my boys. Remus, no cap. Both the boys wanted to be the short king. They let the universe decide which kingdom is better. Remus, your walls will crumble real fast, no cap. Romulus, cap. Romulus unalived Remus. Romulus, I will make anyone who doesn't support my walls croak. So Romulus became the short king. The end.
Excellent, I guess. That was pretty fun.
It is a work of art.
We didn't mention unalive yet.
Unalive and murder and all that stuff. It's all like YouTube slang because they can't say like killed because that'll be like censored
Or get demonetized.
Yeah.
So people say unalive as a verb.
Yeah.
And also murdered.
What about croak?
That's they died.
Well, I know, but is that also for similar reasons?
No, that's just slang.
Croak was like old timey slang when we were
it's
kids.
been
Like that's
slang
old.
since before we were kids.
Okay.
So I guess it's making a comeback.
Everything old is new again.
All right. Well, that was something. That was truly something. And I'm glad I got to hear it again because I forgot about some of that stuff.
You're welcome.
Yes. I particularly liked #sustenance.
That's my favorite also.
Yeah. We are just about out of time here. So we should probably do our social media stuff real quick.
Just by the way, I reversed the outro because I was listening to the episodes. I reversed the outro and I heard both baby and bussin' in it.
Oh, when you listen to the backwards outro?
I mean intro, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Interesting. So you heard bussin' and baby?
Not in those order, but yes.
But if it was backwards, then it was really forwards.
Okay.
All right, let's do our quick social media.
Yeah, you can find all of our links to our social media on our website, which is coolpodcast.website. You can email us at coolpodcast.website. Please do email us. Please send us your ideas. We really want to hear them and give you a shout out on our podcast. And we're on Instagram, Threads, Twitter at whatshouldpod. And that's it. That's all I got.
Welcome to What Should Our Outro Be About? The outro where we try to figure out what this outro that you're listening to right now should be about. I'm still here.
I'm also still here.
Me too.
All right. I think on this one we need to have Svetlana come up with the outro.
What should our outro be, Svetlana?
This is the outro song because I have no other ideas.
No. You have to give an idea for the outro. Pitch it.
Having little fireflies and making them make the outro.
What? Do fireflies even make a noise?
Just make them really close to the mic and make them go buzz, and then like put the buzzes into one of the little piano
It's not
things, and then play the outro.
It's not even summer. Where are we going to find fireflies?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Literally.
How did you get drunk so fast?
the little yarn string thing kind of looks like a dragonfly to me, but I couldn't remember the name for dragonfly, so I went with firefly.
Okay, so it was seeing random things in the room and trying to make them something. How about this? Do you have any like impressive sounds you can make, or like maybe like a really long word you know how to say, or like a little song you like to sing or anything.
Or maybe give us her favorite slang in a sentence.
Sticking at your gut with a Rizzler. You're so skibidi. You're so phantom tax. I just wanna be your Sigma.
All right.
Okay.
Is that it? Is that what we're doing?
That's our outro.
Do you
Alternative idea. Last Christmas, I gave you my yacht, but the very next day, you got phantom taxed. This year, to save all the tears, I will give it to someone Sigma.
so dumb. All right. I guess that's it.
I guess that's our podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. What was that podcast about? I'm trying to figure it out.